watching TalkAsia. With us is Taiwan's President Chen Shui-bian. President, you're now in the last term of your presidency. What are your priorities now?
As the leader of this nation, I want to make Taiwan into a normal country. Even though Taiwan is an independent, sovereign country, it's not yet a normal and complete country. Why do I say that Taiwan is not yet a normal country? Because if it were, it would be a member of the UN family and also be a member of the World Health Organization. Why do I say that Taiwan is not yet a complete country? Because our current constitution has never been approved by our people. The 23 million people of Taiwan really need a new Taiwan constitution that is timely, relevant, and viable. I want to put the emphasis on striking a good balance between prosperity and social justice and equity. Therefore, our main policy goals include increasing investment in Taiwan, continuing to create more job opportunities, bridging the gap between urban and rural areas, as well as decreasing the gap between the rich and poor.
Going back to the election of 2004, where you won your second term, the evening before the vote, you and your deputy Annette Lu were shot. It was something that many people thought was very, very suspicious, because they said that your win was a direct result the next day of that shooting, that you got a sympathy vote because of it, and also the fact that no one was brought to justice ever for it. What do you say to those who have their doubts about what really happened that day?
First of all, I believe that if it were not for that shooting incident, our camp would have won, and won even more votes. When I was shot, but still didn't realize that I was shot, I thought that there were some injuries and scratches from the firecrackers. The Vice President was standing right next to me. She said to me, "Mr. President, you've been injured, and you're bleeding right now. We should rush you to the hospital." But I remember that I told her we still had a lot of activities waiting for us, so I wanted to continue and not think of going to the hospital. We already believed that we were going to win the election, so why would we risk our lives like that?
But you know that your critics say that you set the whole thing up, right?
If I had truly attempted to stage this, I would not have had the President and the Vice President be shot at the same time. I think the opponents could not admit their own defeat, so they tried to find themselves a scapegoat to blame their defeat on the two bullets.
By the time you step down from the presidency, you will have been the leader of Taiwan for 8 years. What does life after that hold for you? Do you think that you will still stay in politics?
After I finish my term as president, I want to be a happy volunteer. As I've said before, our democratic reform is still ongoing, and it must continue to be consolidated and deepened. But there's still a lot we could do regarding strengthening Taiwan-centric consciousness, as well as realizing social equity and justice. I think I could be of assistance in this regard. Apart from being a happy volunteer, I also wish to make some contribution as a pusher and a cultivator and a gardener on Taiwan's road to democracy.
Many people have said that because of the scandals that have surrounded you and your family of late, that that's actually how your presidency is going to be remembered. How do you respond to that? How would you like your leadership to be thought of in 10 or 20 years from now?
I think the temporary noise will soon subside, and our judicial system will prove I'm innocent, and history will also clear my name. At the end of the day, people will remember that it was in my hands in the year 2000. We have completed the first ever peaceful transfer of political power and the first alternation of political parties in power. I think 10 or 20 years from now, people will remember that during my 8 years as president, I've persisted and persevered in fighting against this so-called one China principle proposed by China, and also have refused to accept the so-called 1992 consensus. And I've insisted on Taiwan being an independent, sovereign country, and that the People's Republic of China does not have jurisdiction over Taiwan, nor does Taiwan have jurisdiction over the People's Republic of China. The two sides of the Taiwan Strait are different countries. I think history will bear witness to my devotion and my commitment to defending Taiwan.
President Chen Shui-bian, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a great pleasure to meet you. And that's it for this edition of Talk Asia. We've been with Taiwan's President Chen Shui-bian. Thank you very much for being with us. I'm Anjali Rao. I'll see you again soon.